Video is something that really spreads the message out very fast, and it's the medium that people prefer over text.
Welcome to the iSearch podcast. Today we have Oz, the founder of the Paradox Studio, on the show. So the Paradox Studio is a video production company that's created over 700 videos. This includes corporate video, event promos, music, animated, documentary, and also non-profit organization videos. So today I'll be discussing with Oz on the things to consider before having a corporate video for your own company. So welcome to the show, Oz.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm glad to be on the show.
All right.
And to talk to you about this.
All right, great. So let's begin. So why do companies need to have a corporate video, and what are the key benefits of having one?
Man, the first thing is that like having a video is everybody know it's important because after having a Google search, the next thing that comes up is a video. So everybody expects with over time, everybody doesn't have the level of tolerance to read through all the brochures and everything. So everyone wants like a short video they can look at. And again, it depends on the type of video and their target audience from being their stakeholders when they are presenting for different fundings and stuff, to their partners, where everything can be like put together within 5 minutes or 3 minutes. And then when you're going towards the retail market, everything can be put together from 15 seconds to about under a minute or maybe 1.5 minutes. So that way video really goes out and promotes itself as well in the market when people are browsing through YouTube or looking at different social platforms, so that you can spread the video in all these platforms as compared to just people coming to your website and looking at what you have to offer or on your page what you have to offer. So video is something that really spreads the message out very fast, and it's the medium that people prefer over text.
Okay.
So that's the reason.
And how long should the corporate video be, like the ideal length of a good corporate video?
So in terms of corporate videos, the ideal length is somewhere between 3 minutes to 5 minutes. Still, it's a lot. It used to be a lot longer. But at the moment, the ideal length is somewhere between 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. So next one is, what are some of the key elements or checklists that makes a great corporate video, that separates like the good corporate video from a great corporate video?
The first thing is that you have to understand what the service the client is offering, what are their products. So that is one of the most important things, that you go and understand each and every aspect of the product. The second thing I would say is the aesthetics, that you have to go and do your recce, see what you can work with. Not all corporate videos are made with talents, and with locations that are which are ad styles, but nowadays slowly corporate videos are getting into that. But if I talk about the majority, so the second thing again is to go and look at the location, see what you can work with. And for example, when we go to industrial corporate videos and stuff, and we go to the factory visits, we do a recce at least, like once we have the script ready, of course, which is very important. But once we go there, we tell them for touch-ups wherever we can, so that it looks nice, because normally corporate videos are made over a 5-year span or a 4-year span minimum, that's when they upgraded. So we give them our pointers, we make sure that time is set aside by the allotted staff and department during that time, because this is also something we experience, that we are trying to shoot something and the people have work, so we make sure that the allotted time is there. So after we have the location, after we have the understanding, we have to make sure that the script is not robotic. See, now the time that we live in, people can tell like what's being sold to them and what's being naturally told to them, So we try to make something which even a corporate video, you look at it and you say, wow, this is so nice, I would like to share it, and you're just a normal person who came across it. So we would like to work on the script in that manner, where we try to tell the clients, you need to get out of the cliche of telling about your missions and this and that, all those ideology, those things, and what certifications we have. Everyone can know that, or everyone in your industry have that certification, So we try to tell a story. And in corporates, we try to use the employees naturally, so that we can show that it's not just about the product, it's the whole organization, it's the whole family which is working towards something. So yeah, so I think those are some of the key elements of a good corporate video. Of course, we can go into, oh, the music needs to be nice, of course, the how we take the shots when we're shooting, they have to be cinematic, we have to have aerial shots in it, we have to have a mix of glide cam shots and mix of variety of cinematic shots and stuff. The voiceover needs to be something that suits the product, whether it's going to be a male or a female, and what language it will going to be, and so on and so forth. So I think like it's a combination of a variety of shots, research, understanding them, getting as many natural human, like the employee shots as possible, not the fake ones where you can tell like, oh, they're shaking hand, but you can tell they're stiff, right? So it needs to be more natural, and the result because of that is that, see, for us, if someone who has no interest in the product starts watching a video and shares it, our job's done, because they liked it, because they got touched and connected with it. So that's what makes a good corporate video.
Just like you
And
mentioned,
budget
okay,
to do that,
right. Just like you mentioned that one of the most important elements is the script, right? Who's in charge to provide the script? Because like for example, the client will know their industry better as compared to like you guys, because you guys are more familiar with the videos. So the script format and
Yep,
also the
yep.
story, who's going to be doing it?
So what we do is initially we get a initial brief from the client and stuff. And once we are on board, we ask them to give us a detailed brief, share with us everything they can. Once they've shared that information, we go through it. My team goes through it. The script writer, we all sit together, we go through it, and we take out the information from that portion, from that chunk that they have provided us, and we bring it down to what we need for the script. After that, we have a discussion with them so that we think we know, but we would like to know more. Normally, what would happen is we will visit them. These days we don't visit, so we still have a discussion online, and then we go on to scripting it, putting it, because that discussion we understand the feeling of the product, because sometimes the products are so technical we don't even know what it is, so we have to study that and understand that. So then the next step is that we come up with a draft script, and then we send it to them. We get their feedbacks on that script, and then it goes through a rounds of revisions, up to 3-4 revisions, not more than that is required, so that they keep giving us their feedback and we keep revising it. So that is very important. Once the script is approved, then only we move on to the next of the rest of the steps.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's how we work around it.
And just like you mentioned that, like instead of companies talking about how great their mission statement are or how many certs they have, the things that truly separates company A from a company B is the story that they tell, right?
Yeah, of course. Like, see, this is the story is so important. It is so important. But like, see, of course, like you can't, you don't get that leverage in corporate videos. You have to really fight for it. So then we try to do whatever we can work with, and slowly take out a few things and mention a few things. For example, there's a corporate video. We put in so much effort, and then they want us to put pictures in the CSR section. So we tell them, no, don't do this, don't put pictures. We have such a nice cinematic, beautiful thing, and then you want to put a slideshow of pictures. So it does depend on top level management, how understanding and how much creative freedom they give us. In the end, if they don't, then we try our best, because we need to make something that they are happy with, as well, not just for our portfolio, right? So we try to reason with them, we try to talk to them and make it like give our consultation, right? So if they still are decided on something that they want to stick to, then we have to work with that. So yeah.
Okay, understand. So let's move on to the next one. So could you share how's the corporate video production process like, just from start to finish, just in a very big picture overview?
Okay, so once we are on board, let's start from there, not the quotation and all that pitching and everything. So the video process is once we are on board, what we do is we share a Dropbox folder or a Google Drive folder with him, which has different things, which has music, which has a folder of graphics, which has a folder of the video which we will produce. It has a folder of material from the client, and it has a folder of, say, docs, which has all the script and everything, right? So we ask the client to share all the material with us in this folder. We go through all of that material. Once we have the discussion and everything, then like what I said, we move on to the scripting process. And once we have the script ready, what we start doing is that we share the music options, and then we share the graphics options and the voiceover options. Like what are the voiceover like styles that would go with this script, this style, you know? So we get top three voiceover artists out of, like, let's say if we share 20 with them, we tell them to give us their top three picks, you know. Then we choose between them that what we feel like which goes with them. In music as well, we give them at least 20 to 30 tracks, and we ask them to give their top five to us so that we can choose from that. In graphics, there are a few categories. There's a graphic category for logo animations. There's a graphic category for titles. Titles are the supers that come and stuff. And then, depending on the corporate video, there could be one category for maps, one for motion graphics, and so on and so forth. So we give them a compilation of shortlisted graphics. So say, for example, for logo animation, we give them 20. So they tell us, okay, Oz, we like 1, 8, and 19. So we keep that in mind when we are moving forward. We basically get an approval on the graphics, we get an approval on the music, and we get an approval on the voiceover artist before we proceed with it. So then the next step is to get the voiceover done. We get the voiceover done. Once the voiceover is done, again we send it to the client. Maybe some pronunciations needs to be fixed. Maybe the tempo, at what pace and what feeling the voiceover is delivering. It needs to be looked in. So we do our revisions on that. So once we have the voiceover ready, once we have the script ready, the next thing that we create is what we call it is a production document. So that document has a complete breakdown of what we are shooting, at what time we are shooting, what day we are shooting where. For example, from 9 o'clock in the morning to like 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock, we have been doing outside office or building or factory shots. From 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we will be doing small meeting room shots. Then there's a lunch break. So we give them a complete breakdown that this is what we are going to do and on all the locations. Of course, after the recce is done, that's why we know what the locations are. So we give them the production documents, we log the dates, we log the crew, we log the times with them, and then we go and shoot. The whole shooting process it doesn't have to stick with the time. You know, we have to be a little bit flexible. We are all humans. We are not robots. We can't just. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer, sometimes less, and we work around it. Sometimes we have to mix things depending on the weather. Then we switch things. If it's raining in the morning, then we do the inside shot first, and then we come out and do the other ones. So this goes on, and once we have done with the shoot, then we normally take 3 to 4 weeks for post-production. That is when we start putting it together and everything.
Okay, so during the
from the last day of shoot.
Yeah, during the sorry to interrupt, but during the shoot, right? How many days does a client average to allocate for you to come in and shoot all the things that you need?
Man, for a 5 minute, for like let's say 5 minute corporate video, we would need at least 3 to 5 days. You know, and it also depends on the number of location the client has. So sometimes they have locations which are outstate, like they have one in Penang, one in PD, one in KL, one in Selangor. So then it will take more days, lah. But normally, I'd say like for a 5 minute video, it will take 5 days of shooting. 3 minute video, around 3 days of shooting, depends on how big the place and the number of locations. So on an average, I'd say like for a 5 minute video to get like nice, crisp, nice quality shots, we would need 5 days of shoot.
So average, I can say that a 1 minute
aerial.
a 1 minute video will need 1 day, lah, basically.
Again, depends, man. Like, see, the thing is, people think that the shorter the video, the easier it is, right? But like, you know, you look at ads which are 30 seconds, 20 seconds long, which take days to make, you know. So the shorter it is, you have to put in the message within that, you know. But yes, on like normally 1 minute video, still you will have to shoot 2 days maybe, because corporates, I'm not talking about business videos, corporates, the surface area to cover, you know, is more. Normally they do have branch offices, like their office, administration office, and their factory or industrial office are two separate locations. So again, it depends on scenario to scenario, but yeah, generally we can look at that rule. Okay, 1 day 1 minute, 2 day 2 minutes, something like that.
Okay, clear. And then just now you were talking about like post production, you need another 3 weeks, right?
Normally we work around 3 to 4 weeks, which includes transcoding the footage, then analyzing the footage. Then the next step is rough edits, where we clean up all the shots and organize everything. The next what we do after that is we put the voiceover with breathing spaces, and then we put the music. So we do that before we start putting everything on top. So the voiceover is set, the music is set. Now we start putting things on top. Once we put the initial footage on top, normally people do this offline online thing. I don't understand that. What we do is that we create the actual video and we send that. That's our first draft. You
Okay.
know. So once we've done the initial like putting all the clips together, then the next step is that we start working on the graphics. Once we have the graphics ready, where we keep the branding guidelines in mind, the font they use, the colors they use, we work on the graphics, and then next up in the end we do the initial color grading. So basically, we do color correction, not color grading. So there's a difference, I'll tell you. So we do the initial color correction, and we create the whole video and we send to them, and then we start getting their feedbacks on the video, that okay, if we have another clip that we could replace, or these graphics, because then now they start seeing things, whatever they approved. So they say, oh, can we change this tagline to this or a little bit? There's no change in the voiceover after it's approved. The script once approved, it's approved. The voiceover once approved, it's approved. So we don't change those. It's not in the scope of the project. If you want to change, okay, we change. It's going to be a cost. But the small changes, like, okay, do you have any other clips for this portion? Do you have any other clips for this portion? So we get their feedbacks. The first feedback is very, very, very important, and sometimes we ask the client to give us a comprehensive feedback. So then we do the revisions, we send them the next version. This time we color grade it. So this time we start coloring it and we make it nicer, and because we wait for the first feedback to come in before we do the process of color grading, because that's one of the most important feedbacks that comes in. So now we color grade it, we add in new clips, everything, and then we send it over to them. Then again, there's a process of getting feedbacks, and it's just back and forth. So what we additionally do is this, that after for example, it's a 5 minute video. So we give them a cut down version of, like, say, 1.5 minutes as well. For social media, WhatsApp or Instagram, we give them a 1 minute video if they request it. Normally corporates don't have Instagrams, but for Twitter so we have different versions for Facebook, for Twitter, for Instagram, and stuff like that. So we give them that after we finalize the 5 minute main version. And we tend to give them 4K and HD as well, so that wherever they can play 4K, why not. So that's the whole process. And then, yeah, in the end, we make sure we follow up with them, because what we realized is that they spend so much money on making the video, and then their video only get like 10 views, 50 views, 100 views. So we try to guide them also in terms of, like, what tags they can use, what keywords they can use, what they should keep in the description, stuff like that, because that is very, very important. And at the moment, we provide this for free. We just tell them that we would like to help you get the video out without you pushing it out. So yeah, that's the whole process.
Yep. And like you mentioned, like, let's say you spend like 5 to 10K, produce a very good corporate video, and then there's only like 10 views. So do you help them with the ads, like to get the video to have more reach and more views?
See, the thing is this, that we do offer video marketing service. We started this like about 1.5 years ago. But what we realize is that because these guys, they already have contracts with agencies, Most of them, they already have contract with social media agencies or PR agencies that manage that. So we tend to be in the end talking to them and giving advice to the PR agencies because their approach is, if their approach is not working. So we tend to advise them. We do offer these ads and everything, but like the thing is this, a lot of my clients say, oh, Facebook ad, I know how to place. So the thing is this, that they don't understand, they don't know that it's very easy interface, but do you know about Facebook pixels? Do you know about this? Do you know about remarketing, retargeting? They don't know. So now, like what I said, we've come down to a point where we decided that we are going to, less is more, man. We are going to focus on the quality of the videos, and we are going to just focus on that rather than try to get in this, try to get in that. But if you ask for help, we will share our knowledge, we will tell you what we know, and then you can hire whoever you want to
Yeah.
hire, so now we think like that.
Yeah. Okay. And just like you mentioned, the corporate video, the span of that video will last about 4 to 5 years, right?
Yes,
So after
yes.
4 to 5 years, they are supposed to shoot
Normally,
a new, brand new corporate video lah, every 4 to 5 years.
see, normally the corporate videos, their products, it depends on the industry as well. But yeah, so what they do is there's a shelf life of a video. The reason being is that the company is growing. Sometimes their logo changes. If they have interviews and stuff, the GM changes, this changes because there is a lifespan of the GM as well. So then they want to change those things. Sometimes they get into new partnerships, or sometimes they close old partnerships. So all of these things, keeping in mind, normally all partnerships and stuff, they tend to be about 5 years, 10 years. So yeah, so that depends on the products that they're introducing. Normally they don't introduce a lot of products per year, maybe 3 4 products, but over time their whole product line is different or expanded. So that's why normally for corporates it's about 4 to 5 years. It depending on different industries. Example, FMCG, Unilever, for example, McDonald's. They keep introducing new burgers, and there's for Raya there's something different. For Chinese New Year's there's the prosperity burger. So they have to keep making new ads, new ads, new ads, new ads. It's a non-stop process. So same goes for the bakery. They have to keep making new ads to let the customers know that they are still there. It's a reminder, basically, because once you have the brand set, you don't need to remind. So yeah, it's something like that.
Okay, great. So, okay, let's say if a client, they are ready to engage a video production company, like say the Paradox Studio, to shoot a corporate video. So what do they need to prepare or know beforehand before they even engage a video production company?
So what we do is when we get a query that, oh, we want to make a video and stuff like this. So what we do is that we have a questionnaire. It's a template that we've created for WhatsApp business as well as in our emails, and we send them that initially. So it includes the duration of the video, language of the video. We would ask for 1 to 3 sample videos that they are as a milestone that they would like to have. Any deadlines if they have. Deadlines are something that can always be discussed. Sometimes people come to you and they say, oh, we want the video next week. So I told them, hold on, let's talk first, and I will explain to you why this is impossible. Why do you want to burn your money, man? So it's okay. Everybody comes with their urgencies. You can talk to them. So deadline is okay. We still ask, and then we ask them their budget. What is their budget cap, or a budget range, and an initial brief, and that's about it initially. And if they want a voiceover or not, but basically, if once they send us a sample, 2 to 3 samples we ask for, so then we already get an idea that they want, what kind of stuff they want. So this is the initial thing that we ask from them. So once we receive this information, then we have already made packages which include the deliverables, which includes the everything, the duration, deliverables, sample videos of that style within that budget, the production schedule, and the payment terms, and everything is there. So either we send them a package which matches to their needs, or we make a custom package for them and we send that to them. So that's how it works. That we have a certain questionnaire. In some cases, some clients, they prefer to talk. So we talk to them and we ask them the same things, and we take it from them. Sometimes they just give samples from our portfolio only, you know. So we talk to them and we discuss them the target markets, what's the target market, so that languages wise, like if you are doing in English, okay, like what subtitles would you like, you know, is there a market for Malay or is there a market for Chinese, then we subtitle it in Chinese as well, or you want to have a voiceover for different languages, yeah. So then we discuss it with them, but normally from the initial questionnaire that we have, we tend to get most of the information out, and then we are able to help them.
Okay. And then you will start
So
the
yeah,
onboarding and the 2 to 3 weeks post production and everything from what we
there's a
discussed
process of negotiation as well.
on the
So we
budget.
put up a price, then it try. Everybody negotiates. Yeah, yeah. So we try to negotiate in terms of like cutting down things or moving. See, negotiation is not only for cutting down, but for adding things also. Sometimes they say, okay, we would like to add an aerial. You know, we would like to add in some time lapses. We would like to add in a few more locations. So it's like more understanding each other. You know, it's not about like money. It's more about understanding each other and giving value. And we try to be as humble, and we are here to help. That's how we think. We are not thinking how they can help us. We are thinking how we can help them. You know, and so we try to explain to them. That's why we ask in the start about the budget. If someone gives us a budget which is not practical, which is not logical, which is just they want a corporate video but they don't want to pay for it, then we don't engage with them.
Yep. Okay.
So it's like that. So it's like a filter for us also, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this has been really good info. So to wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience?
Which audience? The audience from my side or the audience from the client side?
The SMEs lah, the SMEs that want to engage
So
video
I would
production.
tell them that, of course, you can try to make your own videos. These days, you can shoot on the cell phone as well. You know, you can watch a lot of tutorials and stuff. But you have to remember that what is going out is not your product, but that video. And whoever is going to go for your product is going to go depending on the quality of your video. So when you put something out there, including video, your online presence, that is, no one's going to come to your office. That is your product. So keep that in mind, that what you're spending on your video is worth it, you know. And there's a reason why a lot of money goes into these things, because it takes a lot of time, as you can see from the whole process. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of people to put it together, and in the end, it's worth it. It's going to be super worth it. So yeah, so give us a chance to make something better for you. And if you want to do it yourself, we are here to help. I'm actually looking forward to helping people make tutorials and tell people how to make, you know. But everyone can try, right? So we are also trying. So we can try and be helpful to each other and see how we can all grow together. You know, that's how I think.
Okay. Yeah, great. So thanks Oz for coming on to the show. Check out the Paradox
Thank you,
Studio.
Ben.
Yep, in the link below, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you everyone for listening and bearing with me. So yeah, thanks a lot.
All right.
And yeah,
Okay. See
over
you.
and out.